Hello, sustainability class and classmates. Ronnie Rocha here doing my last discussion, my 8.1. Decided to do a video discussion just once again because I really like doing these. It's something different than just writing all the time. So anyway, plus it's the last one, so go out with a bang, right? So anyway, starting the discussion. Number one, we were asked to describe any any intellectual or personal growth regarding sustainability you may have experienced in this course. Well, I guess the main thing is knowledge as far as growth because this class has really taught me that sustainability just isn't in our own backyard. It's not just in our nation, it's global. I mean, you always know that, but until you really research it and look it up and constantly, doing what we were doing, our assignments and everything, it kind of shows you how, I hate to use the word bad, but how bad it's become. And so that's probably the biggest thing about the sustainability of humans is how bad it is, how bad we've gotten it, and how we're not doing a whole lot. We're finally trying to, and luckily, hopefully it's not too late. I've always said I do believe humans, we are just eventually going to kill ourselves, but that didn't mean literally. That means just destroy the earth that we live on enough to where, it's not good for us. But the knowledge of all that is really probably the biggest thing I've taken out of this whole course. I knew ocean pollution was bad. I didn't know how bad. And then other things in our discussions that we've talked about that people have brought up. I guess one of the big things was a paper that I did on, somebody else did, was the food waste going into landfills. I mean, that's some bad stuff. I can't even remember the numbers on it. It was like 50% of, or no, I think it's about like 25% of what the landfill was is food waste. And that's something we can really definitely do a lot more on. But I'd just say that's what it was. Sorry, I'm kind of have a cold a little bit, so I'm kind of stuffy nosed. But I also took from this class, and while doing the research, I also learned how it affects. I've kind of watched and learned and how it affects other people in college. And you always see, when you see protests, you always see things like that. A lot of them have to do with young college students that are in college, and I get it. This is where we're learning about the sustainability ethics. Everything that we've learned in these few courses has to do with the things that are kind of like going wrong. We're doing wrong, or we're just destroying our planet. Things like that with oil and things like that. And the only thing is, what was I trying to say? I'm winging this, by the way. I took a few notes, but I didn't want to take a whole bunch. But let me just go back to that one. It's just, that's what I've learned is knowledge of it and how bad it is and how we can hopefully still sustain a lot of that sustainability and keep moving forward in that regard. Which sustainability steps that were mentioned in this week's resources resonate with me most and why? Probably recycling. There was a section in there about recycling, and I read that, and that's probably because the reason why is because we all can do it. We all can do some sort of recycling, whether it's clothes, whether it's machines, whether it's food. I mean, I've learned that people, I can't remember what it's called, but they do something with their food to where they turn it into like, minerals for their garden and things like that. Old rotten food. It's just things we could be doing a lot more. And I think, like I said, the recycling of any product, anything we do. Real quick story is when I was working at Truck Pro, the one here where I live, worked there for a long time. We were just throwing away everything. And I know in restaurants, when I worked in restaurants, we had a trash can for trash and we had a trash can for boxes and recycled. And so I had made that suggestion, and he's like, "Hey," my boss was like, "Hey, if you want to do something about it, as long as it don't cost much, of course, it's always about cost." I got somebody to drop off a trailer there, and we dumped all our boxes in there, and they recycled them 100%. So I kind of did, kind of tried to help out a little bit there, and I think that's like I said, but anybody can do it. Anybody can recycle. Just takes a little bit of time and a little extra effort, but it's kind of worth it for our kids. So I'd have to say recycling. As far as what can you do in your city, town, village, community to help create sustainability and use your own ideas? I think what I'm what I like to do, and everybody has their way of doing things different. Some of them transportation, some of it kind of like what it was saying. What I've kind of done, and always that I've always worked with like baseball and sports, and I've coached, I've mentored kids that way and everything. Played softball, played baseball, played football. Everywhere I went, we always took care of fields. Now, what I mean by that is there's a lot of baseball fields and everything in parks where they're just, no one's taking care of them. The city, they maybe do a little bit, but not enough. And kids, so we would go in there and take our riding lawn mowers and mow the grass, take it and edge it up and rake the dirt. And we would do that so kids just who are playing can go out and play. We fixed nets at a we'd go around, and we started with just baseball fields and taking care of the baseball fields because that's what we did, and made them to where kids could go out there. Kids, adults, anybody, and families were going out there more and more. So we started, doing that, and then somebody had told me, he's like, "Well, I play tennis, so okay." So there were some nets that they just had a metal rod, not a rod, a wire as a net, and so we would use old baseball nets and put them on there, and so and it caused people to go out there and be more active. I think that's what I do best, and that's what I want to continue to do is clean up fields, clean up parks. When you do that, people come out, and when people come out, people, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying, about family time. It's about meeting new people. I think that's the best sustainability is getting to know each other, doing good things, helping other people. And that's one thing I've learned here is helping's contagious. You see somebody helping somebody across the street, you see somebody helping with their groceries, might cause somebody else to do a little bit more to help them out. And they do things. And so sustainability through cleaning parks and working with kids, I'm going to always continue to do. It's my field is child and adolescent psychology, but I'm going to do it with therapy and with sports. So I'm going to continue to do that. I hope I covered everything in here. I think so. For some reason, I feel a little nervous doing this one, and I normally don't. Maybe it's the last one, and no, I'm not going to get to see old teacher and professor and all my classmates who've responded. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for responding to any of my discussions. Hopefully y'all can respond to this one. I didn't give you a lot to go off, but really enjoyed the class. It's a very, very big eye-opener. One of the things that I did want to say is there's so many things that get pushed onto college students about sustainability that they want to go out. It teaches them what the issues are. And we need to go out and do something about it. We need to do those things, but I don't really see the education of showing them how to do it. This is why you get some protests, and especially like younger people, they go and stand in the middle of the road and more of a civil disobedient than actually trying to protest in a good way or certain, to change certain things. And that's not what you want. And then sometimes I understand sometimes you got to break a few eggs, to make the omelet. But, I'm also the kind of guy that says you catch more flies with honey. And so I'd like to see a little bit more of education on, and that's kind of what it was. What can you do to help out, with your community and everything? And if you are going to protest, get like-minded people around. Put it out on Facebook, put it out on Instagram. Anything you could do to help, the recycling, cleanup, those things like that. Any kind of sustainability. That's probably the best way to do it. And to keep in mind that making other people mad to prove our point is kind of taking away the other sustainability part of the human life, human respect, things like that. So I'm going to wrap this up. Hope I didn't talk too long. I went a lot longer than I thought it would. So thank y'all. Enjoy the class. Enjoyed y'all. Other than that, this is Ronnie Rocha signing off. Good luck in the future with your degrees and everything, and we will talk to y'all later.